Good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank everyone for being here today to celebrate my father's life. It means a lot to my family to see how far and how deeply my dad's impact reached. I want to thank Father Don and the ministry for a beautiful mass. To my son Ethan and his friends for serving. Thank you. For those who may not know me, my name is John Patrick Borja, and I am Ernani's son. Today we gather to remember my father, Ernani Borja, a husband, a father, grandfather, and a man who meant so much to all of us here today. Depending on who you are, you probably knew him by a different name. Friends knew him as Ernani. Family called him Ernani. To my mom, he was sweetheart. To his grandchildren, he was Kuya. To me and my sisters, he was Pa. And Pa was the center of our family. My dad was born on April 21st, 1962, in Manila, Philippines, the son of Manuel and Felicitas Borja. From his father, he inherited a strong work ethic. And from his mother, he inherited a deep sense of generosity. He was named after the doctor who delivered him, Dr. Ernani. As the eldest brother to Ruth, Emmanuel, and Erwin, he naturally took on the role of looking after everyone. He was always doting on his younger siblings, especially protective of his sister Ruth. In school, he was always at the top of his class, a bit of a teacher's pet, and from what we've heard, also pretty popular with the girls. As you can tell from the pictures, he looked like a Filipino Bruce Lee. He had an independent streak early on, started driving at 13. Played tennis and was known to hustle players on the court. He loved working on cars, even starting a small makeshift car repair shop when he was young. He later studied engineering at UST, where his fascination with machines, gadgets, and technology really began. When my dad was 19 years old, his family planned a trip to Saudi Arabia. My mom, Joy, just so happened to be the ticketing agent at Gulf Airlines. Apparently, he kept finding reasons to come back to the office, changing his seat, just so they could spend time together. They fell in love and were married that same year in 1981, in the church wedding on Valentine's Day, 1982. Shortly after that, Pat and I came along, and in 1986, our family immigrated to the United States to build a future and life for us. In 1987, my youngest sister, Pam, was born. My sisters and I were incredibly fortunate to grow up with a father who worked hard every single day to provide for us. He was an entrepreneur. He spent much of his life building and growing a small business. It wasn't always easy, but he believed deeply in hard work, independence, and taking care of his family. But he also knew how to enjoy life. He loved fishing and being out on the water, boating, jet skiing, just being on the river. He loved motorcycles, especially his Harley, and he also always appreciated nice cars and trucks. He absolutely loved gadgets. Over the years, he had everything from a shoulder-mounted VHS camera to one that saved photos directly onto 3.5-inch floppy. I know some of these kids probably have no idea what I'm talking about. He loved traveling with the whole family to be there. Growing up, we took long road trips and often camped at Westmoreland State Park. Later, with his grandchildren, we went to places like Atlantis, the Bahamas, the Philippines, Iceland, and just this past December, we were all together as a family in snowshoe. The destinations were great, but what really mattered to him was that we were all there together. Now I should also mention that raising the three of us probably wasn't the easiest job. My sisters and I were not particularly well-behaved kids. At different points in our lives, each of us managed to put my dad through some challenging situations. Looking back now, it's kind of crazy to realize he was only in his 30s, younger than we are now, while we were putting him through the ringer. But through all of it, he was always there, steady, patient, and guiding us along the way. Because of him, we are today. We are stronger, we are independent, and we carry the lessons he taught us with us every day. Later in life, one of the greatest joys of my dad was becoming a grandfather. He was incredibly proud of his 7 grandchildren, Emma, Kyla, Logan, Penny, Chloe, Ethan, and AJ. Nothing made him happier than seeing them, spending time with them, and watching them grow. And I know they will grow up with memories of their kuya and the kind of man he was. When I think about my dad, I think about someone who lived life fully. He worked hard, but he enjoyed the things he loved. And most importantly, he built a family that will carry his legacy forward. Before he passed, my dad left us with a few simple words that perfectly captured what mattered to him most. He said, take care of your mom, love each other, stay together. And that's exactly what we will do. We will take care of mom, we will love each other, and we will stay together. That's a family you built, Pa. And we will carry it forward. We love you, Pa. We miss you.